saying, Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage, detail.
It finally happened. The lawsuit they believed would quietly fade away has now become the most expensive television judgment in US history. Karoline Leavitt didn't just walk away victorious. She unleashed a cultural earthquake so loud, so destabilizing that ABC and The View are now facing what insiders call a slow-burning corporate collapse. $800 million. That's not a legal loss. That's an extinction-level hit to daytime TV's most controversial talk show. Whoopi, Joy, Sunny, nowhere in sight. Sunny is reportedly back on the phone with her lawyers. And Karoline? She's carrying herself like she owns the narrative. This isn't just a courtroom win, it's a media reckoning. It goes beyond accountability. It's karma broadcast at full volume. And now The View, once the queen of midday ratings, is staring down a harsh new reality. Bankruptcy. Stay locked in because what comes next is nothing short of chaos. We're pulling back the curtain on the collapse, every twist, every leak, every desperate settlement move, and showing you exactly how Karoline flipped the script on a media giant. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you're fed up with the media's double standard. Tap subscribe so you never miss the next media bombshell. Did you subscribe? Good. Let's break down how The View fell from daytime dominance to courtroom disaster.
There is so much good news, so much winning out of the Trump White House right now that the mainstream legacy media can't keep up with.
The moment the gavel dropped and the $800 million judgment became real, the shock didn't just hit The View. It shook ABC's entire financial foundation. Within seconds, shockwaves slammed into Wall Street like a wrecking ball. ABC's parent company, once seen as too big to fail, watched its stock plunge. Millions in market value disappeared before the first lunch order even landed. Traders were shaken. Analysts stunned. Financial anchors abandoned scripts mid-broadcast. CNBC even cut programming to break the story. This wasn't applause, it was alarm. By the time Karoline Leavitt's legal team raised their coffee cups in celebration, the collapse had already begun. In Manhattan, panic spread through ad agencies like wildfire. For major sponsors pulled out instantly, not gradually, immediately. One insider described it as a dam breaking. Every minute, another partner vanished. Phones rang non-stop. It was financial chaos. Ad departments froze. Campaigns collapsed. Product placements disappeared. The revenue engine behind the show stalled completely. This wasn't a setback. It was a rupture, and worse, ABC's insurance didn't cover intentional defamation, the very foundation of Karoline's case. No safety net, no backup. This wasn't a legal bump. It was a full-scale collision. Finance teams scrambled. Emergency meetings filled tense boardrooms. Executives flipped through budgets like ticking bombs. One question echoed, can we survive this? Then came the word no corporation wants to hear: bankruptcy.
So Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
Karoline's silence spoke louder than any press release ever could. This wasn't just about winning a case. It was about accountability finally catching up with unchecked arrogance. And for The View's hosts, it wasn't just a stumble, it was a free fall. No safety net, no rescue. The fallout was only beginning, and Karoline was just getting started. Inside ABC headquarters, the scene was even more intense. A polished conference room turned into a pressure chamber. What once held confident pitches and celebration now held silence, until it did. One insider called it a corporate funeral. Another described it as the worst executive meltdown in modern ABC history. When the verdict hit, alarms didn't just metaphorically ring, they actually triggered. Emergency meetings were called within minutes. Executives, lawyers, PR teams, all packed into one room or dialing in remotely. Tension filled every second. Voices rose. Accusations flew. One executive slammed the table. Another threw documents across the room. Then came a letter from Karoline's legal team. Begin calculating liquidation options. That single sentence changed everything. Panic took over. Some demanded firings. Others warned against admitting guilt. Chaos erupted. And then came the leaks, internal polls predicting backlash that had been ignored. Now those same documents were fueling shareholder lawsuits. The crisis wasn't ending. It was multiplying.
How ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
This case didn't just cost ABC $800 million. It cracked the foundation wide open, unleashing investor outrage, legal threats, and the looming possibility of full-scale bankruptcy. What began as a lawsuit had become a corporate collapse. During emergency meetings, ABC's financial losses were laid bare. Massive revenue drops, legal costs soaring, sponsorship deals gone. This wasn't damage. It was devastation. Then came another blow, a leaked video spreading across social media. Joy joked, "Let's see her sue us." Millions watched within minutes. The backlash was instant. Advertisers panicked, partnerships froze, and behind the scenes, Disney executives began preparing for worst-case scenarios. If bankruptcy hit, entire divisions could disappear. Still, ABC hoped a simple apology might fix things. But Karoline's team stayed silent. No response, no negotiations, because there was nothing left to say. The damage was done, and across the industry, fear spread. Networks launched legal reviews. Contracts changed. Hosts were warned. The message was clear. No one was untouchable anymore. Karoline didn't just win. She changed the rules. What once seemed impossible had happened, and now every network was watching closely.
Most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
So here we are, and not just at the end of a story, but the end of an era. The lights are dim. The studio is silent. ABC, once a giant of daytime television, is now struggling on every front, financially, reputationally, and structurally. The View isn't just struggling, it's collapsing under the weight of its own controversy. And standing on the other side is Karoline Leavitt, once dismissed, now undeniable. This didn't begin with some grand strategy. It started with mockery, a segment meant to belittle, but it backfired completely. $800 million later, the result is clear. Karoline won. The View lost. They laughed. She filed. They mocked. She prepared. They underestimated her and paid the price. For many watching, this wasn't just a verdict. It was validation, a moment where power was finally challenged. Karoline didn't just respond, she dismantled the system that tried to dismiss her. Now, the entire media landscape is shifting. Every host is more cautious, every network more aware. So the question is, what happens next? Should The View survive this? Is this the beginning of a larger media reckoning? Let us know what you think. And if this hit you, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this story may be over, but its impact is just beginning.